Well, hello there, all of you string picking guys and gals. Welcome back to Obscene Studio and part 2 to the Firefly FFLX Rescue. Yes, I have adopted this guitar. This guitar doesn't really need a whole lot, just your basic stuff, but I did put a push-pull pot in it. We split the humbucker. The push-pull pot works just fine. Now we're going to have to split the neck pickup. We tried in the last video, but I need a wire. The wire that I used to extend those was copper, and I think that may have had something to do with it. So we are going to get a wire on that to extend it out that's not copper, that is aluminum, that will carry that signal to the tone pot so we can split the neck as well as the bridge humbucker. We had to recrown one fret. We had to pick a couple of more that were barely up a little bit. I figured it'd be that way because the guy that brought it to me had it in his car. When he brought it from a ways away, so I knew it might have been a little hot. That causes a little bit of issues. However, the neck is flat as flat can be. May even add a little relief to the neck. So all we're going to do today is we're going to shine this guitar up. I'm going to put some Maguires on it. We're going to buff everything out. We're going to get some Diodarios on there. Frets are looking pretty good. Even the one I recrowned a little bit, you can't even see where I recrowned that. I kind of buffed that out with the thing, but I have a product that I'm going to just wipe these frets down with. They're stainless, they're nice and shiny, they're good and smooth, they're ball in. So, and then we're going to clean up the pickups here, and we're going to put it back together, set it up, and then go from there. I do have a string tree bar that I'm going to put on here and help hold those strings down a little bit past this bone nut. But yeah, so stick around, guys. We're going to get back on the bench and we are going to make this Firefly FFLX a metal machine. Okay, we have gotten a wire that is aluminum, and we're going to run from the neck to the push-pull on this. I stole this off of the stock pickups that come with the Taxon build that I didn't use. Had a long wire, so I cut them off. So what I'm doing is just using the bare and not the white, because they were just 2-wire pickups. And I'm going to run the bare on one side, the bare on the other side, straight through to the tone pot here, and see if we can split that neck pickup like that. Okay, so now let's go ahead and hook this red and white wire from the neck to our little extension here. Let's see if we can get this hot enough to where it'll stick. I'm sorry, my hands are shaky, guys. It's one of those things about getting old. Just want them to stick together a little bit. There we go. And then we can add just a little bit of solder to it. Okay, got good connection there. And then let's put it on down here. Get this connected good. You know what? I think we need to add to the wire. So let's do that. I'm going to lay this wire right here. Okay. And let's add this down here. Get this solder. Let's run a test real quick to see if it is going to split that neck pickup, because there's no sense in closing everything back up until we know for sure. So let's plug this in, make sure it's on the neck, and it is all the way up, all the way up. the ground, hot to the hot. Okay, so we're looking at 764 right here. And let's pull, and that didn't work either. I don't understand that. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I have figured out the problem. We have a faulty tone pot or push-pull pot. It will split the signal if I wire both pickups into the same side on the push-pull. However, when you wire both of them in on the same side, it takes that 14K humbucker down to a 9 without splitting. And then with splitting, it takes it down to normal, and it takes that right at 8K for the neck pickup down to 6.3. And when I wire it parallel to the bridge pickup on the tone push-pull, it doesn't work at all. So something inside this push-pull pot is bad. And I will tell you this, I know that this is what happens when you buy cheap parts. As a matter of fact, I bought, I think, 3 or 4 of these in the same package when I got them, and I've used all of them except for this one, and all of them were okay. But when you buy 3 or 4 of those and you get something cheap, then you can expect at least 1 or 2 of them being bad in a way. So what we're going to do is we're going to leave the neck pickup like it is, because it has a good warm sound for its output. So we're going to leave it like it is, and then we're going to just split the bridge pickup. And later on, I am going to order another better quality push-pull to put in here so it will do better and I can split both of them. But for right now, we're just going to leave it like that. And because that's the last push-pull that I've got without ordering any, and I do need to order some. So what we're looking at is this splits. So all we got to do is pull that up to split the bridge when we need to. And then the neck pickup is going to stay the same. So I'm going to set you guys up on a time lapse. That way you don't have to sit through all the boring stuff. And I am going to polish this whole thing. I'm going to condition the fretboard, get it looking good, and just take care of business on this. It will absolutely not hurt this guitar at all. Like I said, this works fine for the bridge, but the other post parallel to the bridge for the neck, that post for some reason is faulty, so we're not going to even mess with the neck pickup right now. And who knows, it may work good. I may just leave it like that until this pot goes faulty altogether and then change the pot out again. But we'll just see how that does when everything comes out in the mix. Okay guys, well, I told you in the beginning of the video that I had a new product that I was going to polish the frets with. So upon looking at the frets, my curiosity got the better of me, and I happened to think, you know, I'm going to get my Dremel out and finally bring it into the studio and try polishing the frets with my Dremel. And that's exactly what I done, and it turned out just absolutely great. I tried the buffing cloth that I used, and then for time's sake I just went ahead and yes, I have my Dremel in here this time, and a small buffing wheel that I used on the frets with some flits. But I wanted to experiment this time, and my experiment was using a Q-tip, just getting some flits on top of the frets and then going with that thin wheel and seeing if it would work without taping the whole thing off. And guess what? I may never tape a guitar again. Of course I would if it was expensive, but But yeah, look at that. They're shining. I didn't think they'd shine up much, which they didn't a whole lot, but they did shine up a lot more than what they was. So yeah, that's pretty cool, man. I'm glad that I did bring that Dremel in, because I wouldn't have been able to do this with my drill that had the buffing wheel on it, because it would have carried over into the wood part of the frets, and that would probably not be good. So I went ahead and got my Dremel out and got a new pack of bits for that Dremel that I'd bought a while back. And so yeah, that's what we done, and it's looking pretty sharp so far, all waxed up and everything. So let me get some strings on this thing and get her set up real quick. I'll put you back on the time lapse. Well, guys, that's it. She is completely set up. I have the action way down from where it was. It is at the 12th fret. We are looking at 1.25 and no string buzz on that. And we are looking at 1 on the 12th fret on the high E string. I did have to make some adjustments here because it was way too high, and the neck was just flat as flat can be. Firefly, well done. Well done. Now, I understand that this is not a brand new guitar, and I rescued this guitar off of somebody that hasn't played it in a long time, and it did have its issues, but well done. These tuners are not Grover, but they sure do feel like it. I mean, just real smooth and tight. They not dropping tune at all. I've changed out the knobs down here, but that's going to change yet again. And this, I'm going to get some gold knobs to go on here, probably those spent shell casings like I got on Richie. And then on here, get a little gold one to fit on top of my toggle switch right there, because I think that'll make it look cool. And I don't know what else to say. I do have a faulty push-pull knob in here. And because of that, I am going to change that out in the future. I've got to order some more to come in. I used my last one on this one, or I would have changed it out already. It does, however, split the humbucker, but it does not split. I don't know if the pole on that side where you hook the red and white wires into is bad. I don't know, but it will not split this one. And when you split both of them, if you run them into the same side on the pole, then it cuts the output on both pickups way back. And I didn't want that. I like the 14 on the bridge. And so I wanted to split that. However, the neck pickup sounds amazing. It's amazingly warm. And I just really don't know what else to say about it. I mean, it is a nice guitar. I don't care much about this glossy finish here. May do some Scotch Brite on that before long. I'm not sure. And I'm thinking this is a set neck. The neck is done so well that this might be a neck through, but I'm not sure about that. I would have to dig up some specs because it kind of feels like there's a transition here that kind of makes me think that it's a set neck. Does not matter though, does really good. Video has been kind of long. I know I had to go through a lot to get this thing where I like it. Now, I could have ended it off in the first video, never worried about the push-pull knob or anything like that. I did put a string bar on it on the headstock to help hold them strings down a little bit past the nut. It had had one in the past. And so I decided why not just put another one on there, help that thing along a little bit, because I don't want any issues from strings popping out of that nut. However, it is a bone nut. We did put graphite in the nut, leaving the tuners alone until I start getting problems out of those tuners. Those tuners are going to stay. I don't like having to wind the strings, and all that stuff like you don't have to do with locking tuners. But however, those are good tuners. I don't see a problem with just leaving those on there. So yeah, awesome guitar. I mean, really an awesome guitar. Firefly FFLX. You get 2 thumbs up from me. I did have to, however, I did have to file down 1 fret. It was the 2nd fret. And I just basically hit it with a crowning tool and knocked it down till it was level. And I had a couple of more on the 13th and on the 19th, I think. Those 2, I just pecked with a little hammer to get those back in there and to get them, feeling good and everything to where they was level again. Once the guy told me that he was bringing it in his car, I was kind of figuring that the weather, the heat and humidity around here might come into play. And that's quite possibly what might have happened. I'm not even sure. So yeah, guys, that's it for the Firefly FFLX. I thank you for stopping here at Obscene Studio with your host, Casey. And I appreciate every one of you, subscribers, non-subscribers, people that just click on my videos and watch them. You guys are awesome. If you haven't, please like, subscribe, turn the bell on, do whatever it is that they tell you to do on YouTube, which I really don't care. I'm in it because it's fun. I get to play awesome guitars. I get to work on them. I get to make them better. And that's the whole basis behind this channel, is to show you how to do the same. So as always, guys, I pray that you and yours are having the best day ever. And I pray that God is with you all. Until next time, later.